This conference will now be recorded.
Yes, I can. Okay. So today we will see about debugging techniques. Means we will learn how to debug the programs, how to enter into debugging and all these things. For this, let me take one existing program as an example. So this is there any program? C it's not finished. Can we report? Start report one. Okay, so this is fine. So let's take this report as an example. Your data is also coming. So now debugging techniques. So first of all, how to enter into a debugging mode? I mean, how many ways we have to enter into a debugging mode? Suppose you have one program, you want to debug that program. In how many ways you can enter into the debugging mode? See, as soon as you enter into SC38, as soon as you enter into SC38 and you provide your program name here, you have an option called debugging here. In SC38 screen itself, you have an option called debugging button. So if you click on that, automatically it will take you to debugging mode. It will take you to debugging mode, and from here onwards you can debug whatever you want. This is one of the technique. And second thing is, for example, if you want to debug your program, see, assume that you have a program of 10,000 lines. Assume that there is a report program which is having some 10,000 lines of coding part, and you have some issue with from the line of 7,000. So you cannot start debugging from line number 1 to 7,000. So you have to directly jump into line number 7,000. So in this type of scenarios, what you can do is, wherever you want to start your debugging, from wherever you want to start your debugging, you can just put a breakpoint over there. So for example, I want to start debugging from this particular statement, select statement. I can simply put a breakpoint. Breakpoint is nothing but you can just click on this area like this. So you can say a session breakpoint was set. So you can set a breakpoint here, and if you execute the program, wherever the breakpoint you had kept, the program will exactly take you to that particular location, and you can start debugging only from that particular line. So this is the second way of debugging. The first thing is you can have a debugging button in SC38 screen itself. And second option is you can use breakpoint, session breakpoint in the program. This is one of the way. And come out of this. Instead of keeping a session breakpoint, you also have one more option. There is a keyword called breakpoint. So activate this. This also works same. It will exactly stop you at that particular line, like this. So the third option is also called, you can use keyword or breakpoint. And this is the third technique. For example, you want to debug from selection screen. From selection screen. That means when I click on execute button, from this particular point of time, what's going to happen in the program that you want to see at this time. When here you can use /h. If you want to enter into debugging mode from selection screen, you have to use /h here. So type /h, click on enter. You can see debugging switched on message. So now if you execute this button from this particular point of time, what is going to happen that you can see in the table. So this is another way. That means you can type /h for switching on the debugging. And so these are the few techniques of entering into debugging mode. So now we will see actually what we have to do in debugging. Okay, now we are able to enter into debugging, that's fine. What we have to do inside the debug. Say execute. Now I am entering into debugging. What we have to do here? We use majorly 4 keys in debugging. Say for F5, F6, F7, and F8. These are the 4 keys which we have in debugging, which we majorly use in debugging. F5, F6, F7, and F8. So F5 is used for line-by-line debugging. Line-by-line debugging in the sense, it will enter into each and every line. It will enter into each and every line. For example, if you are debugging a program and you come across a function module, you'll say this one. So this is a function module. Now, there is no need of entering inside to the function module because it is a standard function module anyways. There will be no issue with it. No need to enter into the standard function module and debug the standard function module. Anyways, we can't understand because standard code is a little bit complicated. No need to debug. So you have to directly jump into the next statement that was written after the function module. But if you click on F5, what will happen? It will enter inside the function module. So like this. Now we are in the function module called reuse LV grid display. Not only function modules, if you come across any perform subroutines, and if you don't want to enter inside to the perform, and if you want to directly go into the next statement, with F5 it is not possible. If you click on F5 again, it will take you inside to this perform. See, if I click on F5, now you are in some subroutine. So F5 is a key which it will take you by line, every line it will debug. So whenever you want to enter into any function module, whenever you want to enter inside to any subroutine or something, then you can use F5. F6, I can say it is a overview of debug. That means if you don't want to enter into any function module, you want to debug your program, that's fine. But if you come across any function module or if you come across any subroutines or methods or whatever it is, and you don't want to enter inside to them, then you can use this F6 keyword. Suppose, let me restart this. See, if I'm clicking on F6 button, even it will also debug line by line. Even F6 key is also used to debug line by line. But when it comes across any function module or subroutine, it will not go inside to that. For example, let me enter inside to this function module by using F5 key. Now, so now here there is one subroutine. If I click on F5 again, it will enter inside to this subroutine. Now I don't want to enter inside to this subroutine. I want to directly go to this statement. So instead of F5, we have to click F6 like this. So this we can call it as overview debug. If you click on F5 in any subroutines or function modules or methods, it will enter inside to them. But if you click on F6, it will go to the next step. This is called overview of debug. F7 is a key which is used to return. That means, suppose assume that accidentally you entered into some function module by clicking on F5 or something, and now you want to get out of that function module. You can't keep on executing all these lines to come out of this function module. So within seconds, you want to come out of this function module on the spot. Then you can use this F7 key. So if you click on F7 key, you'll be taken to outside of the function module. Not only function module, wherever you enter, and it may be a function module or subroutine or method, that doesn't matter. If you want to come out of that instantly, then you can use this F7 keyword. And F8, we already know that it is for execution. Execute function. That means it will directly execute the program at any point in time. 1 second, just a second.
Go.
So F8 is direct execution. So now, let me stop this. Done. So now what we will do in debugging, that means why we have to debug any program. The first thing is to check if you feel that something is wrong with your program. If you feel that your program is not working as expected, something is wrong with the written logic or something, then you will debug your program and see how the system is responding for your written logic. Just like this, see, here you can clearly see that we are trying to edit the column 1, that is Kunal. I had written in field catalog edit is equal to X, so that this particular column will be editable. But if I execute this, let me remove the breakpoint. But if I execute this, you can see all the columns are getting editable. My intention, my requirement is only to edit the first column. But when I am executing the program, all the columns are getting editable. So why? Why it's happening? What is the reason for it? Let's debug and see. Though it is a silly reason, you can easily understand because we have worked with so many programs. But just for our analysis purpose, let's see in debugging what's happening. So here you can see this is a field catalog designing, column position, no zero, edit, and this is internal take. As if now all these are empty. So when I'm clicking on next, column position is 1. You can see field name is Punar. Selection text is customer number. No 0 is equal to X. Edit is equal to X. And I am appending all the data to this internal table field catalog. Done. So by this, the first column field catalog designing was done for the first column for Pune. And the second column starts here. Column number 2, you can observe here, field name land 1, selection text customer country, and again append. But if you observe here, whatever the value that we had assigned for edit in previous column is keep on continuing for the rest of the columns like this. See, please keep on continuing for each and every column. It is not getting erased. So this we can find in debug, and we come to know that we need to clear the data from work area after the append statement. So just write clear work area. So here, after every append statement, you have to clear like this. So activate this. So now you can see only the first column is getting edited. So this type of course, this is a small issue, but this type of analysis you can do in debug, and you can rectify your coding form. And not only that, so let me give some entry in the selection screen, say 304463, and execute the button. I'm getting a blank screen. I'm providing some customer number here, say 304463, and if I'm executing this, I'm getting a blank screen. I'm not getting any data. So now, okay, we know that there is no, the reason behind this is there may be no customer number for this particular entry. So let us debug and see what's happening. So if I give 304463 next, I'm having a breakpoint at select statement. See here, we should get some data into this internal table ITK never. And the entry that was given in S4 underscore Kunal, that is in selection screen, is 304463. So now when I'm clicking on next, the select statement will get triggered. So if I click on next, the select statement got triggered, and you can see the size of RC value is 4. That means not equal to 0. The size of RC value has become 4, which is not equal to 0. That means what is the meaning of that? Whenever the size of RC value will become not equal to 0, the statement gets failed. The reason for it is this statement got failed. Why this statement had failed? Because the entry that was given here is not in the database. So to cross check it once again, whether our analysis is correct or not, no need to go to program again and give the new entry and all these things. You can change the entry here itself. Just select this line, go to the settings, and go to change selected row. So this particular row will become editable, and now give some value, some other customer number, say customer number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That means customer number 1. So now check with this customer number 1. So now you have to move this cursor back to the select statement. Move this cursor back to the select statement. So how you will do this? You just place your cursor here in select statement. Click on Shift F12. wherever you place your cursor and click on Shift F12, the cursor will move back to that particular position. And now click on F6 again. Now this time you can see the size of RC value had become 0, and we have one entry in the internal table ITKNA1. By this we came to know that the issue is with the given customer number in previous scenario. 304463 customer number is not available in the
Harshad, it was Shift F4, right?
Shift F12.
Yeah, in order to jump from the old customer ID to the next one, yeah?
Yeah, if you want to jump your cursor from one particular line to another particular line, that should be previous line, not
Yeah.
further line.
Yeah, going back. Okay, thank you.
So this is one type of scenario. And for testing purpose, whatever changes you want, you can do it. For example, if you want to add some data in the runtime, you can append one row. If you just want to see what will happen by adding some row, you can add some row here like this. You can also delete the existing row by selecting the row. You can also delete it, or you can delete the entire table data. You can see these are all. You can change the existing data. You can delete the data, append the data, insert, delete, complete. So these are all different options you have available. And let me restart it one second. I'm executing a report without giving any input. So if I click on next, I'm having some 212 records in this particular internal table. And I want to know whether a particular record is available in this internal table or not. I want to filter and check it. So here there is only less data, 212 records. So assume that in real time we have some 2 lakhs of records, and you want to see whether a particular record was fetched or not by filtering the data. So here you cannot see it. You have an option here. You can see it, table display in ALV. You click on that, then the data will get displayed in ALV report format. So here you can filter the data with whatever value you want. For example, I want to filter Pune with some value 1000. So you just select this, click on filter. I want to filter with customer number 1000. I think customer number 1000 is not there. Check this. Yeah, well, I think we need to add leading zeros. So I want to check customer number 1000. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1000. Can see it. I want to check whether there is customer number 2000. 2000 is also there. And I want to filter only Indian customers. And you can add a filter like India. So, IN. Only Indian customers will get. So you can sort the data, you can find any particular record, you can filter, you can sum up. So these are all things, whatever things you can do in ALV output, same things you can do in debugging at runtime also. And not only that, so let me write one small loop condition here. So this loop at ITKNA1 into our carrier KNA1. So I'm putting putting a breakpoint here again. Execute. So I'm having 212 records in this particular internal table. Now I want to see what is happening. So when I'm looping this internal table loop at ID here one, obviously the loop will rotate as many times as the records are there in this internal table. So this internal table is having 200 plus records. Obviously this loop will rotate for 200 times. Now I want to know what is happening when the loop is rotating for 150th time. You can see the site ABAP value here, which will keep a count of loop rotations. You know, the loop is 2, now the loop is 3, now the loop is 4. So now I want to know what is the customer number that I am getting when the loop is rotating for 150th time. I cannot keep on clicking this 150 times to reach that particular point. So what we have to do, the system should directly take me to 150th rotation. So in this case, in this type of scenarios, we use watch points. In this type of scenarios, we have to create watch points. So how to create watch point? We have an option here called watch point. So here, in watch point, we have to provide what is your variable. I mean, based on which variable you want to create a watch point. The variable here in our scenario is SY tabex. So just mention SY tabex is my variable. And here you have to provide the condition. What is your condition? So I say that my condition is you have to take me to SY tabex value of 150. Done. I can see a message called watch point created. So if I click on F8 now, I got a message watch point reached, and here you can see the site ABAP value is 150. That means system has directly taken you to the loop rotation of 150, and the Kunar number while the loop is rotating for 150 is 200003. You can cross check it in internal table for the line number of 150 whether it is correct or not. See, this is the same 2003. So it's just an example I'm telling. So thing is, if you want to jump into a particular scenario based on some condition, you have to use watch point. No need to keep on clicking on next for loop rotations. So these are the few debugging basic techniques. So we just practice it once, then we will see further advanced things.